vision from the CEO, right? That will be much more important for the future.
Since agents and AI has access to all the data, all the knowledge, they make teams communicate much more efficient.
At the end of the 2024, almost all good knowledge, I would say good knowledge, has been completed by almost all the model.
All right, welcome to episode 2 of Chain Reaction. Today we've got our guests Stanley Wu and Roman Fasakhov. We're going to be talking about AI agents and the future vision of how we see agents and AI frameworks being utilized in our industry. So Stanley, kick it over to you. Welcome to the podcast. Can you please tell us a little bit about what you do and your background?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Feroz. Hi, everybody. My name is Stanley. I am the CTO and a co-founder since Anchor journey within this company, and then migrate to Asphere. So basically, my background is cloud computing. I spent 12 years at Amazon AWS, and afterwards, Anchor is my first crypto startup after I left Amazon. So basically, for this 5 to 6 years startup experience to bring the cloud computing like experience to the crypto, to have a lot of RPC service, data service, advanced API service, staking service to our client. So today, it's my honor to share with you guys our our experience and learning from the AI integration with the crypto. Yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you for that intro. And then over to you, Roman. I know you're very deep in AI agents and in that building process right now. So can you give us a little background on yourself and in this process?
Yeah, thanks, Feroz. Hi, Stanley. Hi, Feroz. So yeah, I'm Roman. I joined Anchor like 3 years ago or something, and as a software infrastructure engineer, and now I'm leading the software development at infrastructure, including agentic software that we're working on. And yeah, that's my primary focus, to try to apply those new emerging agentic software to infrastructure mostly. So yeah, and like a few months ago in 2024, we started integrating those agentic LLMs in our work pipeline. So, and now we see the results, and it's credible.
Yeah. So actually, let's just kick it off on that topic, right? When did these conversations about AI agents start? Because I know, like Stanley, I mentioned to you earlier, I've been messing with them since last year, October, November. A lot of these frameworks started coming out, and it was really interesting to like get my hands dirty and see what I could build with it. But we have a massive team of engineers that can build way more useful agents that are plugged into our infrastructure, help our clients, help a lot of people within our organization itself, as well as the partners that we work with. So just curious, you work with a lot more of the engineering team and of the organization than I do. How did this whole conversation start, and how did you see it affecting different parts of the company?
Yeah, actually, the idea and the concept is not something new. And back to my experience at Amazon, to be honest, a lot of work. At the first day at Amazon, it is a lot of labor work in terms of the operational of the business within Amazon. So I still remember 2008. The first day I joined Amazon. So my small team is only like 20-ish people, but more than half of the team member is actually ops engineer within the space. So there's a lot of work like to manage the service and moving the data or things like that. And then AWS came out and to help a lot of automation and streamline process of this effort. And I significantly see the team size from 10-ish ops team to only 3 guys or 4 guys. That's the efficiency trying to improve over here.
And this was in like 08, you said?
That's 2008. It's not related to the AI yet, but a lot of operational work has been automated and streamlined. And also because of the economy of scale of economy. So Amazon AWS become a more serious business, offer to the general public and start to gain traction, and they become a very, very important revenue source of Amazon. And I do see the value provide to this space. But AI, totally different. I think it's not just the labor work. It's not just how to. Of course, it's automation for a lot of work, but very, very, very important concept of the AI is knowledge itself become a commodity for humans. So especially for cryptos, we have a lot different kind of the crypto team, a lot of different kind of the protocol. So to manage them and know how to interact with them, and know how to best efficient way to manage this service is a lot of knowledge. And let alone as a startup, the people comes, people goes, and for there are some turnover in terms of the people management. However, all this knowledge is well documented inside Anchor or Asphere's documentation systems, like Confluence, right, like Notion. So to have this knowledge sitting somewhere, to let a computer to learn it, know it, and give them a plugin, or in the words we call agent, to manage the service automatically, and to have stable, reliable, consistent experience offered to the general public, to the crypto space, is something always we are chasing. When the open AI came up, and we definitely see a lot of potential with it, not just for the crypto. We're thinking about some legal advice, some medical advice, some accounting advice. All this knowledge can be managed by open AI. I mean, as human, you cannot test challenge your memory, challenge your computation capability with computer, right? Yeah. So this is actually what computer is good at, and this is the moment that we really think AI can help crypto, not only Anchor or Asphere, also the crypto, to provide more reliable service, and we take that into action within the space. So I think 1 year ago we start to have the initiative to think about how using AI to deliver service within Anchor or within Asphere, and possibly to have some interface either through Slack or through Telegram, and expose to the user, let them to have the help service, chatbot, and to help them using human readable language, a human understandable language, to ask questions for their specific use case, like their account ID or account email, or the access code or access key, and also to understand what's going on with their service, or what's wrong with their request. All these questions at Anchor from the customer service point of view, we have experienced again and again and again. And it's not necessarily we have to put a human or a customer service agent to help answer this question, because they also need to look up the documentations or things like that to get the correct answer. AI itself is very, very good at it. So we just need to explore the latest technology and trying to integrate the best AI model. It's not necessarily to be a very complicated model. We can use the MIP model, open source or exposed, offered by the company like DeepSeek or OpenAI, to help our customer be able to access this answer in a human readable way. I bet Roman, as the engineer to work on this, on day-to-day job, definitely can have more concrete example to share. But generally speaking, at Anchor or Asphere, we always keep track of the latest technology and trying to help our customer, trying to help our partner to do their business more efficiently. And this will continue to do that. Yes.
Man, that was awesome. It was very wide ranging, right? So you're talking about initially data feeds at Amazon. So a lot of data is tagged and a lot of process can be automated, but it doesn't really learn anything. It doesn't have knowledge. It's just helping you automate some simple workflows and reducing the workload a little bit. Now to LLMs, which you can feed certain data into so it can respond more accurately, and it's constantly updated, which is now turning into agentic workflows. So human readable, you can have a conversation, you can ask it questions, and it can now be plugged into live data feeds to be able to help end customers. I mean, I know we've been using it for different workflows internally. LLMs are very helpful for a lot of creative things, content generation. There's a lot of things that it reduces the workflow and increases the output. But when you get into agentic workflows and connecting it to specific client needs or specific internal workflow needs, it just helps reduce all of that unnecessary overhead that we've seen for a long time. We know there's ways to automate it. It just hasn't been a clean way that gives you accurate information
Yeah,
until now.
yeah. If there's a key phrase I can emphasize again and again, over and over, I think is the as I said, knowledge become a commodity. It's very, very different design pattern, as I keep saying, a human being, right?
Yeah.
To design application, we used to think how to make the expert to do their job easier.
Yeah.
But right now, you don't need to be expert. I have expert as a computer system, right? They are the expert. They
Yeah.
can grab the knowledge like that, right? How this expert
Hmm.
can help me facilitate my goal, my end task, my end game, to make it much, much more efficient with affordable price for our customer, to bring affordable value to our customer. That is, the new way of thinking of using AI to do the innovation. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love the way you put that too. So yeah, I'll take that over to you, Roman. So how have you seen this implemented in real life? I know you've seen a lot of ways to make it useful.
Speaking about the knowledge, when I started developing my first agents and first LLM applications, I really understood that keeping the data up to date and keeping the overall knowledge in the company clean is really important. So now we always kept our documentation up to date and our knowledge clean and understandable, but in the AI era, it seems like it's even more important because knowledge is extremely important. It's the core, it's the fuel of this new software. So yeah, would you like me to showcase something, right?
Sure, yeah.
So yeah,
Please do.
basically, yeah. As Stanley mentioned, he worked on operations at Amazon. So we also have a lot of operations, and so my first initial idea and initial thought that we have to help our operation teams to in their daily routine, and that's how we end up with our Moniqa agent. Moniqa stands for monitoring and QA, basically a quality assurance and monitoring. Let me share the screen. I'll
Nice.
just share you a few slides just to make it clear. So basically, here's our Moniqa agent, and it has all the features that modern agent systems have, and so including all the clients like Telegram, Slack integrations, daily routines, alerts. That's what's most important. Long-term memory. Of course, it has access to all our company-wide knowledge like Confluence, Jira, all these data sources. And what's most important is our observability stack. So all our metrics, logs, and traces are connected to Moniqa, and it also receives alerts from our alert systems and help node operation team, DevOps team on a daily basis. And so far, we are playing with it around like several months, I believe, and it's really, really helpful. And what I'd like to maybe stress on is this feature, the multi agent approach. That's what I'm personally more excited about, since in Asphere, in Anchor, we have many teams, and they all have their own expertise in some specific area, in a particular area. And what I think is the most valuable here is that every team now has a opportunity to create their own agent, to automate, or just to provide set of tools for other agents. And here I created just an example here. So basically how it looks like that Moniqa is a monitoring agent. It watches alerts, it analyzes incidents, but when a question is about Kubernetes, let's say, we have a Kubernetes team, and Kubernetes team is extremely smart in terms of Kubernetes. They understand the problem, they understand our system, and they understand how Kubernetes works, and they provide their own agent and set of tools. And we use multi-agent. In this case, it's a supervisor architecture when Moniqa can delegate tasks to Kubernetes agent if something happens and it thinks that Kubernetes agent can help. The same with node operation agent, since node operations has a lot of specific blockchain related topics that only node ops are expert on, we also can delegate them tasks. And here's an example that a support agent delegates tasks to Moniqa when there's an incident or a customer problem. And I'll show a little bit of technical stuff here, but what we ended up with is there's a MCP, model context protocol, and we find it really helpful in our case. And I personally think that it is very powerful tool. It provides this basically a way how to build this communication medium for agents and tools. And so how does it work in our case? Every team here, we can see here, every team, let's say platform engineering, they provide set of tools and let's say their agent. And the DevOps team the same, they provide they build their own agent. It's quite simple nowadays, and they provide their own set of tools. And those tools are well evaluated, they are well tested, and they works perfectly because DevOps team understands what those tools have to do, what this agent has to do. And
I think Roman, maybe it will be better. You can give some concrete example what it happened yesterday and what happened today,
okay.
and what is the comparison between two different methodology in the past and today, and what is the efficiency improvement that what can help you make your life easier. That would be help the audience better to understand what we are doing.
So I was going to ask, when you mentioned MCPs, right, the model context protocols. I learned about it recently looking at the Goose framework by Jack Dorsey, and it's it's the latest open source framework that I've seen, and it really piqued my interest because there are so many different MCPs that different people have built that gives it different functionality. So it looks like you're really following that open source mentality in the methodology behind your build. Can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, and actually we're going to release advanced API MCP servers soon. So
okay. Dude, you're just dropping alpha in this episode.
Okay, so yeah, let's see an example. I'm just going to send like a test request to our infrastructure with a invalid request parameters. For example, here you can see I'm sending the Ethereum get block receipts with a block hash that doesn't exist. And so when we send this, we receive an error. So some error block with this hash not found, along with trace ID. So how it worked before, a customer complains to our customer service that here's the result that it received, and a customer support has to go to our telemetry service and inspect logs, inspect traces, and see what happened.
Try to recreate the issue, right? Because we can't see it.
Recreate the issue. But and it's still possible. I mean, we still can do this. We can open our telemetry and just find this here. It's not a problem. I mean, it's.
But it takes manual work to do.
But and now what we can do, we just go to our Telegram bot, let's say, or Slack or any platform, and just for example, in Telegram, Moniqa is available. So and I just copy paste the response I got. Hey, I got this error. Please help or something. And that's basically it. It goes through and it solves your problem.
I like the reaction, the
instant eyes. It's like I'm reading your message. It's a good confirmation.
Yeah. So Moniqa works as a multi-agent architecture. So it has a reasoning model at its core, and it delegates tasks for just a general purpose models like for O mini or just 4.0 to NodeOps agent, and a NodeOps agent does the inspection.
The actual troubleshooting, and then it gives it back to Monica. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you're not allowed to share this, that's cool. But are you able to share what reasoning model you're using? Like, have you tested different ones and seen which ones
Yeah,
operate?
yeah. That's actually an important question, actually, and a good question. Since I think what's most important in agent development is evaluation. Agent evaluation is the core component. You cannot produce any good results until you have this test and evaluation. So yeah, all our agents are being tested and evaluated, and we compare all the models. So far, we are using just O3 Mini as a core model of Moniqa, and 4.0 Mini as a general purpose models. Also, for in our use cases, Claude also displayed quite good results.
Okay.
DeepSeek as well, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say, I know I've seen like O3 Mini High has been doing really well. I don't know if you use like the different tiers of them, but reasoning models have a lot of really good parts when they help you actually deduce what you need it to do and then hand off a lot of that work to different agents to get it done. But yeah, like you said, the core part is that reasoning, right? To figure out what is the best way for me to help this person's request instead of just
Yeah,
spitting out an answer.
yeah, especially as a supervisor agent that's going to delegate, it has to plan.
Yeah.
So
Do you see any that possibly we need to look at the metric. Do you see any performance improvement? Do you use the regular model to compare to the mini model? So a lot of mini model is designed to host it and run it inside the mobile, right? That's why it's mini. But in our use case, or in most of the use case, it should be, in my opinion, it should be good enough. But based on your performance comparison, or evaluation, do you see any performance improvement for the full model and the mini model?
yeah, actually, I've compared reasoning model and the just general purpose model, and in our evaluations, to be honest, it's not that big of a gap. It's just it's
that's
only
why
the same.
yeah,
So
that's what
yeah,
I'm
so
thinking as well. Yeah.
that's why we're using GPT 4.0 Mini as our base model, small model we call, because it's just faster, and faster is more important in our case.
Yeah, that also can give us, our audience, a suggestion. If you guys develop your own application use model inside your specific task, I think the mini model is fit into the most of the use case if it's not too complicated, right? You are not research the tax laws, things like that.
Yeah.
For the situation of our complication level, that's enough. The mini model, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good point because the prices change drastically when you go from the MIDI model to any of the other ones. So yeah, if you're just starting up, building a hackathon project, starting something small, building an MVP, there's no need to spend that extra money and get the more expensive models. The performance just isn't worth it for smaller scale projects. That's a great point. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we're going to move a little bit into the future vision. And I'm curious, Stanley, you have a much wider range picture of how these systems kind of came into operation, what types of workflows they've helped enhance over the years. What do you see really changing over the next 2 to 3 years in terms of how agents are implemented and what type of workflows and operations they're going to help enhance? Or even on chain? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for most of the team or company to run the business, there's always friction or always spending. You are not working on the value directly. So as I said, so for example, I start as Alexa team at Amazon. So half of the team at the very beginning on day one is operational work. So it definitely, you can say, it increase the stability. That's also part of value. But use case wise, it do not give you new feature. It do not give you any value added besides you say this response always return within half seconds or things like that. In the future, I believe all these kind of friction or that kind of the we will say ops work, it can be handled by computer or AI automatically. The innovation really will be shooting around what is actual the problem human is really need. And also, especially come back to our crypto space, since we work on the crypto space for significant long time. So I think to have insight on the protocol itself, I feel like it will be more valuable and more affordable and more timely back to the user. So we are talking about things like MEV, right?
Yeah.
That could be automated. Then the competition between NVV will be more severe if you use AI. We are talking about the insight and also the marketing trend, right?
Mhm.
That is also can be automated, and also the iteration of the new product will be much more faster. Just focus on the use case. I think in the future the I think it's more about actually that's something I want to mention. So people always wondering why DeepSeek can come from almost nowhere, right? Suddenly it becomes such a good success. A very important assumption or fact is in 2024, almost all the AI model has exhausted the human knowledge. So that's a very important facts. So basically you have knowledge itself, then you have a lot of computing, then your result is good. But at the end of the 2024, almost all the good knowledge, I would say good knowledge has been, completed by almost all
Mhm.
the model. Then the competition between OpenAI and DeepSeek is not really about the source of knowledge. It's just what's the best way to index. I shouldn't say index data. It's not what OpenAI model doing. It's all about the algorithm itself. So that is a very important assumption. I think in the future to dig out the knowledge, to dig out the insight itself, and to work on the use case should be the new focus to provide AI application. I think in the future, although I'm a developer myself, I think the importance of developer will be less and less be the focus of the company or the startup of the company. I think the product manager, the vision from the CEO, right, that will be much more important for the future as a startup. And I believe the cost and also the velocity of execution of new startup will be much quicker, because you
Mhm.
once you have idea right away you can do
It's
it.
there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Just execute, right?
Yep.
So I think that will be the new future. Although I mean it's not concrete. Unfortunately, this is all we are facing. A lot of this trend is not concrete, but still you can feel it's coming.
Yeah.
It's yeah
I was
it
gonna
make
say
us
that. Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
It make us, some of us maybe not, comfortable, but I still think this is a trend. Unfortunately, we all need to fit out or adjust ourselves and fit us ourselves into this trend. Yes.
Yeah. Whenever any new technology starts taking over, there's a big boom. There's a lot of people that are going to be nervous about what it means
Mm-hmm.
for their job, for their career, for their industry. I think you make a really good point, though, which I mean, it really resonates with me because I like to build, but I'm not a software engineer. And I've been using low code, no code tools. Now it's turned into
Mm-hmm.
AI assisted tools. So I'm using
Yeah,
Cursor
AI
to
can
code.
help you build. AI can
Yeah,
help you build. Yeah.
that dude, I'm in Denver right now for ETH Denver, right? Been talking to developers for the past couple of days. Last year, I was giving workshops on using low code, um,
Mm-hmm.
getting smart contract databases to build your contracts for you, using some front end low code tools to build out your front end and to ideate quickly. This year, there are agents that do all of that. It'll write your smart contract, it'll write your front end, it'll deploy to Vercel or to Replit for you. So things when in terms of having a good idea and being
Mm-hmm.
able to show off a quick MVP, that timeline has shortened so much. And even the requirement of I need two different developers, back end, front end, and then somebody to do design and product and present. It's all come down to like one man teams. You got solo teams building projects left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that in the future, even people that aren't necessarily interested in development, but just want to create their own thing will have, they won't even have to learn what smart contracts do or what certain functions in coding do. They're just telling an AI to build it and they're building their own apps for their own uses to solve their own problems. And
Yeah, and AI can do it. AI can do your auditing, right? So
Yeah,
it can
yeah,
exhausted all
yeah.
the risk you have, yeah, and give
Mhm.
you the operational suggestion how to manage your key or things like that.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it should be
crazy.
all, yeah, it should be all automated and also give you as a free service from the from the AI point of view.
Yeah. All right. Roman, I'm going to throw that over to you, seeing as you're the one actually building these. So what do you see in your process? I've already seen it about of the evolution of the single agent workflow into a multi-agent workflow using MCPs. How do you see that changing operations moving forward in the next couple of years, or just what's your vision in general for how you see this upending our entire industry?
Yeah, tough to say what it's going to be like in several years. It's tough to say what it be like in several months. But
In six
yeah,
months? Yeah.
yeah. For now, I see the that's most important thing or most valuable thing in how people communicate. Since agents and AI has access to all the data, all the knowledge, they make teams communicate much more efficient. So there is no like this tension, you don't have to spend too much time to understand what other people a team do or what that team do. So you just communicate much easier. You and agents can help you find some common topics and common ideas. That's, I think, what from my perspective what I see now, because for in our we see how node operations teams now work much better with DevOps team, for example. You can see it right now.
That's awesome. All right, I have one final question, and this is kind of a curveball. So there was a really hot a quote that was going around last year saying that over 80% of on-chain transactions are going to be done by agents in the next 6 months to the next year. So in 2025, that was the assumption is 80% of transactions and volume is going to come from AI agents. Do you think that's accurate? And if not, why?
I think it's accurate in terms of the trading point of view. So we are talking about NVV, or we are talking about the trading opportunity over here. Of course, it's just like not only the on-chain transaction, also the traditional stock exchange, the transaction also done by automated trading, right? So that is basically just human cannot compete. Again, human cannot compete with computer about the computing power, reaction, right? This is not human is good at. So from that point of view, I agree with it. But in terms of the development, in terms of the new application pattern for the smart contract deployment like that, I think it's still dominant by us. So I will says for that basically half and half. Yes, for trading, yeah, for sure. More and more
Absolutely.
automation, more and more.
Yeah,
As long as more and more player, more and more capital coming, they definitely would like to see the automation trading can get seeable,
that's
foreseeable results. Yeah,
yeah, I was
from
going to
that.
say DeFi or AI-fi, like AI trading agents, are definitely a hot topic.
Mhm.
There's a lot of different frameworks and platforms and like launch pads that are coming out to
Mhm.
deploy your own agents. So it's interesting to see how people are going to be using that for themselves. I know a lot of the stuff is done by institutions or big players, a lot of automated agents and bots that are running transactions that keep the industry going. But for everyday users, Roman, how easy do you think it'll be for an everyday user like myself to deploy an agent to do all of my on-chain transactions for me? You think?
I mean, haven't you done it already?
Okay, so with people that are even less technical than myself, right? There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that want access to it, but have no idea how to read a line of code. I see like some launch pads and stuff coming out, but in terms of like customizing your own agents and being able
Yeah.
to deploy one easily,
I mean, seeing so many new frameworks being released every day, I think just wait for a few months. That's it's
yeah,
going to be done. Eliza version 2 also is going to be released also in April, I
Mhm.
believe, or end of March. So yeah, it's all coming.
dude, that's yeah. Actually, I think we basically skipped over the ElizaOS framework completely. So they're actually a really good partner of ours, and we've worked on a plugin that allows anybody to build an ElizaOS agent using their framework and plug into on-chain transactions using our APIs and advanced APIs from Anchor. Roman, can you talk a little bit about that evolution, what the plugin allows you to do, and the what you know about V2 that's going to be coming out, and how that's going to make things easier for new developers?
Yeah, regarding the plugin, so basically we have the advanced APIs at Asphere at Anchor, along with RPC services. Basically, access to multi-chain is now possible with Anchor plugin. We have many chains, and we also have advanced APIs that provides more deep insights into the blockchains, like NFT assets, token balances, token prices, and all this stuff is now available for any agent of ElizaOS ecosystem. And yeah, so and about V2, Eliza, yeah, is going to have a huge update. They're going to finally separate those clients into, so basically they have many issues because they had grown so fast, and it's been incredible, but since too many people started to commit to their repositories, it's a
Yeah,
little bit messy at the moment. So first of all, they're going to move all the plugins to community repositories, I believe. And what's most interesting from my perspective is separating of clients. So now when you start conversation in Telegram, let's say, you're not you can end conversation anywhere. At the moment you have to, it's going to be ended in
like
Telegram as
per
well. So
channel.
yeah, it's not that flexible.
Dude, I
That's why
mean, I
they
gotta say, that's a great problem to have. Yeah, that you're growing so quickly, so many people
yeah
are
yeah
contributing to your code base, so many
yeah
people are using it to build agents that you're like, we have to refactor this entire thing because there's just too much interest. That's awesome. Big shout out to the Eliza team for their hard work on that too. Cool. Do you guys have any closing thoughts before we end this episode? This has been a great episode. I'm really liking the behind the scenes, talking to team members about what we're working on. We're going to be bringing more of these episodes every month. But thank you so much, Roman, Stanley. Do you guys have any closing thoughts, any words that you'd like to say?
I think for AI, it's a really, I think imagination and idea will be the limit. So yeah, you're talking about on-chain trading, online trading. So think about Trump, right? How many people can get Trump token at when it was 50 cents, right? But with AI
Yeah.
model, it's possible. So I think it definitely more and more in the future will be trend, and also because all the on-chain activity, and on-chain data is open to the public.
Mm,
So something so-called inside trading is not really inside trading, because as long as you do, everybody can see your movement, right? So
hmm
so it's not only the whose model it can have faster reaction and it can grab the opportunity over here. It's more about how you design the agent, how you design your model to reflect what kind of input that can have more precise anticipation for the future. It become that kind of, I think, a lot of effort was spent really on the innovation itself, rather than the friction I mentioned before. So I think I'm very glad to see that happen in the future.
Dude, it's a really exciting time. It's all about what
Mhm.
data you're using, how you're building it, and all of that
Mhm.
is being done by agents. You can just tell it what you want it to do,
Mhm.
and as long as it has the right information to work off of, yeah, you could be the next best trader without having any experience yourself, which is a crazy thought. Thank you so much, Stanley. That's awesome. And Roman?
oh yeah well, since I'm an engineer at the end, so I just say from my from my experience, evaluate your agents, measure, and this way you're going to build a great agents that's going to achieve much more than without evaluation. Just evaluate it and it's going to be perfect. That's my end words.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome. No, thank you so much. Genuinely, you guys have been awesome guests. Really excited to be able to talk to you guys about this. I'm going to head back to East Denver and start talking to more developers. We'll have this episode out this Friday. Thank you so much for anybody watching. You can find us Anchor and Asphere on Twitter, and this episode will be posted to YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See you. Bye bye.
Thanks.
See